3 weeks before my wedding, my fiancé sat me down with a printed fitness plan his mother made and told me I needed to lose 20 pounds for the photos. 40 minutes later, a voicemail meant for him told me exactly why that conversation was such a joke. My name is Mara, I'm 29. Grant and I had been together 4 years, engaged for 1, and in that year I'd learned that his mother, Corinne, runs a boutique fitness studio and treats every family gathering like a weigh-in. Thanksgiving, she made us all guess each other's goal number as a party game. At my dress fitting in the spring, Grant told the seamstress in front of me, "Leave some room to take it in, not out." I laughed it off both times because that's what you do when the alternative is making it a whole thing. At my bridal shower in April, Corinne handed out party favors that turned out to be pedometers. "For good luck walking down the aisle," she announced. And the room did that specific laugh people do when they're relieved the joke wasn't pointed at them. My own mother pulled me into the kitchen afterward and told me to let it go, that Corinne just worries out loud. I let it go. I always let it go, right up until the day I stopped. 3 weeks out from the wedding, Grant sat me down at the kitchen table with a laminated sheet titled Wedding Countdown Plan, Corinne's handwriting filling the margins. Corinne's handwriting filling the margins. He said it plainly, like he rehearsed it in the car. "You need to lose 20 pounds, Mara. This is for the photos, not for me." I asked, since when a photo needed 20 pounds. He said I was being dramatic. That was the word, dramatic. While he was still talking, my phone buzzed on the counter. "You need to lose 20 pounds, Mara. This is for..." A voicemail transcript popped up from a number I didn't recognize. His cardiologist's office, confirming a follow-up for elevated cholesterol and pre-diabetic markers, asking him to please not skip the statin refill again. It had come to me because 6 months earlier, without telling me, Grant had listed my number as his emergency contact. I hadn't touched a single setting. His own doctor's office did that for me. I asked him, right there at the table, if he'd ever once told his mother to back off in 4 years. He said it wasn't that simple, that she raised him alone, and fitness was just how she loves people. I asked if avoiding stress was also how his cardiologist loved people, since that instruction clearly hadn't reached him either. He didn't have an answer, so he changed the subject to seating charts. I didn't push further that night. I finished the conversation, agreed to think about it, and drove straight to his cardiologist's building the next morning. As the listed emergency contact, I was legally allowed to request his own records be released to me, and I did, in writing, that same day. 3 days later they arrived. The missed refill, the ignored referral to a cardiologist 8 months earlier, the note in all caps from his doctor, "Avoid unnecessary stress." Corinne, of course, didn't let up in the meantime. She showed up unannounced 2 days after, ate a full plate of the dessert she'd rationed for my side of the table at Thanksgiving, and told me, "We just want you glowing on the big day, sweetheart," while looking pointedly at my plate. Grant said nothing. He never says anything when she's the one talking. At the rehearsal dinner, Corinne stood up with her glass and toasted to "Healthy choices for a healthy marriage," looking directly at me the entire time. Grant smiled into his drink. I stood up next, and everyone assumed I was about to toast back. Instead, I thanked her for the sentiment, said I actually had something on the theme of health I wanted to share, and read Grant's cardiologist letter out loud. All of it. The missed statin, the 8-month-old referral he'd sat on, the instruction to avoid stress, dated the same week he staged a family weigh-in game at Thanksgiving. The room went dead quiet. Corinne's fork stopped halfway to her mouth. Grant reached for the paper, but I'd already forwarded the whole file to his sister, a cardiac nurse, an hour earlier, for a second opinion. I set the folder down next to the flowers, picked my wine back up, and said, "Since we're being honest about bodies tonight." Grant didn't touch his food for the rest of dinner. Corinne left before the plates were cleared. We got married 11 days later. The dress stayed exactly as ordered. The photos are exactly as we are. Grant's sister now drives him to every single cardiology appointment because apparently that's what it takes. For the first time since I've known them, Grant set an actual boundary with his mother himself. No more goal number games at family dinners. Full stop. And I never had to be the one to ask him for it. And Corinne hasn't hosted one since. I still have that folder. I've never needed to open it again. Subscribe if you think a wedding toast was exactly the right place for the truth.